So what are we going to be making? It's not quite a guitar. It hasn't actually got a name. There is a company in Canada that makes an instrument just like this. A company by the name of Seagull, a Canadian company, and they designed this, and they call it a Dulcimer. What is a Dulcimer? A Dulcimer is actually an instrument that you used to sit and play it on your lap and play with your frets like this, and you get your sound out of it. So this has been modified now to actually hold similar to a guitar. So it's like a hybrid, but we call it a Dulcimer. And it's only got 3 notes, basically. Now, 4 strings, 3 notes. The 2 bottom strings are in harmony, so it gives us that sound. So the sound that it gives off is much like somewhere between a mandolin, a banjo, that type of sound, and a ukulele. It might be slightly out of tune. You guys can tune it. I'm sure you'll be able to do that. The tuning on this one is D, A, D. The 2 bottom ones are in D. You can tune it to G, D, G. Whatever key you're playing in, you can set it to that tune and have a blast. Whatever you're singing with, it'll go very well with most music. And I think with African instruments, you can actually get a really cool sound out of this. Now, look at this fretting. You'll see the fretting is completely different to a guitar. It's actually not. It's identical, but I've taken out certain frets. So what we've done is we've taken out all the minor frets. So if you think of Do, Re, Mi, there it is. Okay. It's called diatonic tuning. Diatonic tuning, all the major frets are taken out. And if you want to assimilate to someone, you all played a piano or seen a piano. Piano's got white keys, got black keys. This is just the white keys. So you're going to have the experience of making this. So all I've done is I've prepared the core for us, and then we're going to build this thing from there. Right. So today we're going to mark out and shape the top. We're going to mark the sound hole in the top, and we're going to cut that sound hole today. And also we're going to put a little inlay into the top. When doing a top for an instrument, the top is very important, especially in a guitar and a violin. Your grain must be quarter cut. What does quarter cut mean? So I have a tree. All right? I cut the tree. I look at it from the top, and I'll see the tree looks like that. You all see that? And those are called annular rings. Annular ring normally dictates the age of the tree, and there'll be different densities, meaning hardness. If I cut the tree into 4 now like that, and I take that piece there, we'll refer back to this maybe later. So I've now got that piece of wood there, and my annular rings come around like that. If I had to draw that in 3-dimensional now like that, that annular ring will form lines like that. Have a look at your piece of wood, you'll see the lines in the wood, you see it? We try and choose the best piece of wood for that. And then the tonal quality of the piece of wood, very important. Very important. If I take the tone, you can try it, hold it about 1/3 of the way, and you knock it, you'll hear the resonance of that piece of wood. There we go. I'm going to let you listen to it. Hear the resonance? Listen. Hear it? Now you've got to hold it in the right spot. You hear the sustain of the wood? You hear it? You hear it hangs in there? Hold it here. Hangs up there. Okay. We're going to glue this thing on at a later stage, and then we're going to trim it off. So this must be bigger than the back. It makes sense to you, eh? Then that looks good. That looks good. Okay, so this one's correct. So then we take that, we look at that little rebate, I make a mark, I look at it from the other side, and I make a mark. All right. Now, I put this jig on here, and the jig goes to the end of that mark there. See there? And there, I put that on, and we'll draw a line. But more than drawing the line, you see on the end here, there's a little mark on your back. Can you see it?
Yeah.
The center line is like the holy grail in an instrument. We're working on that center line all the time. It's very important that we keep our center line intact. So, put that on, get that where you had it before, making sure my overhang is the same as all the way around, and then I hold it down. You can do it on your benches, and just watch what I'm going to do first. I make a mark there, center, and I make a mark. I look down the side here, and that little line that I see there, I make a center mark there. Alright? I'm going to get another couple of rulers now. Take a ruler, and I draw a line down the middle. Okay, so where you've marked the center line, that center line now is going to be the top. In other words, it's going to be the one that's facing out. Okay? I've now got those two little marks, and on the template here, I have a center line. You see it there? And that center line you'll see is marked off on the edge, and it's marked off on the edge there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it approximately on those marks, but I'll get my center line in line there, and I'll get my center line in line there. So this is a router, and what you look here and see, I've got a cutter, and then I've got a little bearing at the bottom. See that little bearing? See that little silver thing at the bottom?
Yeah.
That little silver thing is exactly the same diameter as the cutter. And if I hold that and spin, it'll stand still. So when I cut now, that bearing I'm going to set to run on this little piece over here. See that? And then it'll cut that piece exactly to the same profile. Okay, you ready? So we're going to come into there, and then you're going to slide it towards me.
Okay.
Okay. Right, come away from there. Free. You ready?
Yeah.
We're going live.
Very well.
You did very well. 100. So I'll get my center line lined up. That looks good. And we spot on. Okay. Okay, so you're going to come, you're going to pull it into the thing and keep the pressure against here. I'm going to keep it down here for you. And then you're just going to slowly push it across to cut off the piece of wood. Okay, so let's come away. Free, ready?
Okay.
What's important is not to tilt the machine like that. You must keep it flat so that the cutter is 90 degrees to that over there. You feel it? Very nice. Okay. Check it on your instrument. This is called a purfling over here. Now, I've made this up. It's pre-bent. And I've left it wrapped around here because otherwise it'll want to go straight. It's approximately that size, and we're going to shape it to that size exactly. So how do we do that? Now, first cut, second cut, whatever you can do, whichever one you want first. So you're going to put that, first of all I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut myself a piece that is bigger. So if I cut that off over here, I can actually just snap it off there like that. There we go, that's one. And you see that's more than enough for what I need there. Okay. And I now take one edge over here, and the hardest part about this whole thing is getting the length right. If it's too short, it's going to leave a gap. If it's too long, it's going to bulge. It's got to be exact. And the golden rule in any woodwork is never cut your line away, because otherwise you don't know where you're cutting. But I'm leaving the line visible on the waist side. So that's the waist I've cut off now. So I always leave my map there. So you always leave your line, but you've got to be aware of where you draw the line. But I've got to cut a little bit off. Now you see my line is still there. So now I can say, okay, if I cut most of my line away, because I'm now doing my final fitting. And believe me, that is not a lot of timber to cut off here. Get it against the edge, cut it. I might have cut too much off.
I think you may have.
Very easy to cut too much off, but no, it's actually nice. There we go. There it is. Okay, and then I'll now get I'll get a piece of scrap wood for you guys now, and you can actually push it in to position, tap it in with a hammer. Excellent. Okay, so what you do, I run the thing around there. Let's go right round.
Right round.
Yeah, that's it. Inside and outside. That's it. So you've got a little pool going into perfect.
Try not to squeeze the bottle.
Or that should run out on its own.
Yeah.
That's it. And just keep going. The meniscus will draw it out.
Snapping the side and then eventually finding what you make like this really decorative fix.
If I take just a drawing of what you're going to do, you've got your top. We don't want to make a shape like that. We're going to sand this around here, this piece here. That is going to be sanded around now because it's too sharp now.
Yeah.
All we want to do, so that's not like that. We want to do this. I want to bullnose it, so it's got a very nice, so whatever the thickness is, if I were to take the square and just draw it a circle on top there, that's what I want to get. So circle that diameter. Alright, because this top now, if I go and hold it in position, is almost level with that size. You see that? It's almost the same size.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to sand a bit off. So if anything, you're going to sand it a little bit. We're going to be sanding off here. So concentrate on the inside. All right, now how do we do that? Please, it sands quite fast, so don't go ballistic. This wood is quite hard, so it'll sand nicely. I'll do a little bit of this now. So I'm sanding there. I turn over and do the same on the other side.
Just to make
And you see, I'm moving my finger, I'm taking just the corner off.
okay.
And you can see it doesn't take long, eh? So what sometimes people do is they sit there and they're talking and they're sanding, and the next thing the hole's not round anymore. All right.
It happens, I know.
Easy, okay. So I'm sanding now, and I'm going to the smoother paper.
Okay. Just to make it level. Perfect.
And now you can have a look there and see what we've achieved. I've just done this little bit there and you can see the difference. You can see how nice it looks.
Yeah,
Gives it a completely different look.
Yeah, it is
It
complete.
actually makes the top look thinner, and more than anything else, it looks good and it feels fantastic. Alright, so our next step now is we're going to take each top now and we're going to sand that flat on that machine.
This thing.
Yep. And then you're going to see how nice it's going to look now when we're finished. So we want to do 110. It's 11.1 centimeters. 110 millimeters, okay.
111.
I mean 111 millimeters.
On
Okay.
the top.
From the top down the center line, and you make a little mark across on the center line. Okay, I will check it when it comes to me. Now we don't want to put this in the wrong hole here. We're going to make sure that's in the middle. It is, okay. Alright, come this side and let's go.
Or slightly off center.
Again, I'm going to start the machine. Drop it in. Make sure it's locked in. Okay, now, just hold on, just like that. 1, 2. Okay, and then we're going to have a little memento for you. You can just tip it out. Clean that off. And now what we do is we turn it over. Make sure we go in the right hole this time. Very important now. We do not, when we finish the cut, we do not go back.
You only go once.
Because it's loose now. And remember, it's holding in the hole here. Now when that's loose, it's going to want to move. Okay, so I'm going to take a precaution now. But I'm going to put 2 clamps here because I do not want this thing to move now. Because if it moves, it's going to bite the hole and then it's going to make an ugly chunk in there.
Ugly chunkies.
Okay, so there we go. Ready?
Definitely always.
Never let go of the tool.
The problem, my hand was twisted.
Yeah, no.
Left hand, dude.
You can see now we're loose.
Oh, we're running home.
Okay, so that's now still firm, but we don't go back in case there's a movement, and then it'll do it. So now you lift it off.
Amen.
There we go.
Amen to Jesus. Hallelujah. You're the best, man. Give me some of
And
that.
there's your memento. You keep this now.
Oh yeah, thank you. So I know exactly what's going on.
Okay, next one. Right. Just check if that's loose, you just do that. Yep, we're loose. Okay, undo, take out, clean up. Right, now, while we are cutting, I'm going to get the guys who have cut to start on the next stage.